Hi everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of Movies on the Shelf. I'm Paul.
I'm Stephen.
And today we talk about two actors that... The reason why we thought we'd do this episode is because it connects to how we connect as friends and how we
first came into films. I'm surprised it took us this long to get these two actors, to be fair.
I thought, to be honest with you, I honestly thought it'd take a wee while longer before we did this, but why wait? Why not just get into it and do it when we can?
Yeah.
So
use our safe episode. This is a safe one.
Yes. So we're talking about, for those who don't know, Belushi and Aykroyd, right? And the reason we picked those, I personally picked those two actors is because I have such a strong connection to not only in my teenage years, coming into my adult years, but when I was, how would you say it, my teens, my teenage...
What age were you? So what used to happen was I would come to your gran and grandpa's house,
right,
to watch these ones. So what age were you about then? So you're a bit older than me. I would have said I was about 11.
So right, okay, so I knew Dan Aykroyd, right? I knew from, I had the video lying around the house.
Yeah.
And it was, I'm just going to point out, I brought it in because I like to
show the crowd.
I had this VHS lying around the house.
Yeah.
And obviously I'd seen Ghostbusters, but I didn't own Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So for me, seeing Ghostbusters was very, I knew he was in Ghostbusters for sure. Yeah. But I knew his name from Coneheads. Now, have you seen Coneheads?
Yep.
Right, now, despite what people might say, I actually like this movie, right? I used to, my ex, should I say, she used to laugh at me for this film.
Yeah.
Every time we would talk about other stuff, this movie...
She'd give you stick for
it. This movie would come up, at least it's not Coneheads and all this kind of thing, but I see the funny side to this. It's not Lawrence of Arabia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Coneheads.
It is what it is. So
it's a Saturday
night, for what it is.
Saturday Night Live. Like Wayne's World.
Yeah.
It's one of the better ones in my opinion. Like Wayne's World and Blues Brothers, obviously. So
So that was that and Ghostbusters, the first two.
Yeah.
Because I feel like by the time I came to your gran and grandpa's house, I think you'd seen most of the films. Because you were always kind of showing me them, but you knew them already. So films like, and I suppose I can't remember what the first film was, but I remember we'd watch the film, let's just say it was Blues Brothers or something. And we said, right, we're going to watch this next film, like next week or the other. And the famous thing is, behind your gran and grandpa's house, there is a burn.
Yeah.
And you...
we'll talk about that film, which will lead into that story.
Yeah. So I'll pause it for now then, put it in the back step.
So, obviously the name Dan Aykroyd was like, right? In this film you're talking about, I will explain more about his name. So
we've got the Ghostbusters and Coneheads, so what was the next one that you came across?
I've obviously seen My Girl. Have you seen My Girl?
No.
With Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, we spoke about this, but no, I've not seen it. That's Macaulay Culkin. It's a bit of a heartbreak one.
So Dan Aykroyd's, how should I say it? Well, when I first started watching Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi movies, it was like the start of the internet.
Well, who was showing you them? So was your dad getting into them, or were you finding them yourself?
I was just finding them myself.
Ah, right.
Channel 5.
Yeah.
Of all places.
Yeah.
Paramount. Paramount channel. They would play movies every Friday and Saturday night.
So you were discovering this
yourself?
Yeah,
we didn't have Netflix to just like flick on something, or the internet to stuff. The internet was just starting, and once you didn't have the internet and you're accessing your phone, you had to actually go on the computer. And the internet was so back then. Remember the dial tone?
Yeah.
And you had to upload pages. Remember that when it was like loading up, right?
Yeah.
So I would type in John Belushi, and at the time it was the internet was just starting, so there was
sketchy.
You could there was Wikipedia. You could see that there it's called IMDb now.
Yeah.
But it wasn't called that then. It but it was showing you like
his list of filmography.
So I would end up like writing it down on a bit of paper and then looking through all the newspapers to see what I could find, and or even like looking at the video or the DVD covers. Back then, DVDs were coming out. Video covers. I'd be searching the video covers to see what they look like and try and get my backside to HMV and all these places.
It's quite interesting. You've always been, because I've never been like that. You've been quite systematic.
Yeah.
In terms of like, I'm interested in this person, so I'm going to find out what they've done.
Yeah, and
go through. Which is funny because I think at that age I was just drifting through movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even necessarily like, oh, I've seen Ghostbusters, so I like that, so let's find out who these actors are. Like, I definitely wasn't doing that at that stage. I was just kind of processing everything as it came along.
Well, that was the cool thing about what I had to do. I had to do my own research.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's quite interesting.
It was interesting. It gave you something to do. It took you didn't have your phone to flip through.
No.
Facebook and you know whatever. You didn't have Spotify or anything to keep you kind of jumping on YouTube. You had none of that.
You could get nowadays. You just get the answer like that. There's no fun.
Yeah, we actually had to go out and look. You had to kind of. I mean, I went down to Global Video. Remember Global Video?
Uh-huh.
And I'd look through the old videos. And we were just transferring into DVDs then.
Yeah.
And they were trying to get rid of some videos. I'd be looking.
Yeah.
I'd be like, right, what am I looking for?
Yeah.
And you've got to remember then, you're talking about 1999, 2000. Right?
Earlier, even probably.
It was about 1999, 2000.
Was it?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I can remember. I actually, it's one of these movies.
I suppose I would have been, because I would have been 10 or 11. Yeah.
1999, 2000 is when I first discovered it. That time you're talking about, it would be either 2001 or 2002. It's like shortly after.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But I was going through this phase, like, Austin Powers was a big thing.
So what year were you born? How much older than me were you?
So I was born in 86.
Right. So I'm like 11 and you're 14.
Yeah. So I'm just coming into that my
teenage years.
Yeah, and I'm
becoming your own person.
Yeah, trying to figure out things, and I didn't have anybody like my sisters. I never really connected with them.
Yeah, you never had an older person.
I had to like do my own thing and be my own person and do my own research.
Whereas I think I was always quite blessed. I always had like Ian, my older brother. I had my older brother's friends.
Yeah,
who got me into like Alien and all that. And I had you who said, "Come to my gran and grandpa's and I'll show you all these movies." So I've always been. That's probably why I'm lazier and not systematic, because I've just had somebody go and try this movie, try that movie, try this.
So eventually, in the summer of 2000, I came across a movie, and I'll remember what it was, but I'll talk about that movie. I'll come back to that movie towards the end. So I ended up looking up John Belushi. I'll be honest with you, my next film after the film that I'm going to come back to at the end was probably National Lampoons, Animal House and the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Right? Which would have been these two down here.
Which had a big impact on us, to be fair.
Yes. So, the right one, sorry. Right, so National Lampoons, Animal House and the Blues Brothers. Right? This is actually just new out in 4K, the Blues Brothers. This is the extended cut, so I haven't actually opened it yet. I thought it'd be good to do a little unboxing. Since we've not done one for a while.
That'd be good.
So you've never seen National Lampoons Animal House?
I don't think so, no.
Right. I want you to come around one night. Right? Because these two make a good double feature.
Yeah.
Now, what I mean by a double feature, the only connection they have together is it's the same actor and the same director.
Oh, right.
And the same actor and the same director.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Right, and they did them right after, I think a couple of years after each other. Right. It's John Landis, John Belushi, and John Belushi. Now, Dan Aykroyd's not in this movie, so we're not going to talk about National Lampoon's Animal House too much here. I could think we'd save that one time in a later date for its own.
We could always do a National Lampoon's episode. If the fans want it, tell us if you want it in the comments.
But the reason I came across it was on Channel 4 one night.
Yeah.
And I was like, and his name was on it. I was like, I have to watch this.
Yeah.
Right, I have to watch this. So I remember sitting down and watching it. I pressed record then, and then I went out and hunted for the movie on videotape, and they were giving me the whole, it's not out in videotape, but the DVD's out. Right, you can get the DVD.
Yeah.
So I bought the DVD. It was like a special edition or whatever it was, and then I got the Blues Brothers. Had the Blues Brothers videotape.
Yeah.
I actually did have the videotape. I managed to track down the videotape for Animal House, and so Blues Brothers. And then you don't remember where I used to stay, don't you know?
No,
So,
I've never seen it. It was always just a grandparents' house.
So we, in next to where I used to stay, the Vale of Leaving in Scotland, there was a place called the Outlets, and basically it was an old, but it was like old. They used to make bombs or something, or shells in the war or something like that, and it changed into a shopping centre.
Mm-hmm.
A lovely building, but not a great shopping centre. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I found the video version of 1941.
Yeah.
You ever seen this?
You showed me it. That's definitely what we watched. I remember the submarine bit at the start. It was one of the later ones we watched. Yeah, the Jaws parody.
This has... people have a love-hate relationship with this movie.
I didn't like it much.
Give it a watch again. It's stupid, it's silly, but...
Is it Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi again? Both of them?
Yeah, but they're not really... this is before the Blues Brothers.
Ah, right.
After Animal House and before the Blues... In between the Blues Brothers, right?
Yeah.
They're not really together in it.
No, they're not become that double act.
Yeah, it's more of a Animal House meets, you know, Pearl Harbor story. Right? Yeah. That's basically what...
And it's like a war parody movie.
Yeah. And it's just full of all, like it's a mad world, like full of all these...
Is it almost like kind of Naked Gun, but in a war version?
I wouldn't say it's like Naked Gun, it's... How do I explain
like Aeroplane and all that, I mean?
No, it's not. It's not as silly. It's that. It's
got more of a plot.
Yeah, it's more like they just want. It's like almost as if like Animal House was, because Animal House was the first teen comedy ever made, and it was like, oh, we want to thrive on that, and that's why Caddyshack came along, and this movie came along.
Yeah.
And it was to get it, like, we can have the same people do this, the same people make this movie, the same people make all these whole bunch of. And that seems to be what they were going for.
Yeah.
Now, shortly after that, we're getting to this story how we got together.
So I wonder, what was the first films we watched? Definitely one of the first ones would have been Blues Brothers. Definitely, because I think that's the only one I knew coming to your house. I probably knew Blues Brothers, so we probably both talked about that. And then probably from that, we probably then leapfrogged in terms of you saying, oh, there's these other ones to watch. And it would have been 1941. I don't know, maybe we did watch Animal House. I'm trying to think what we watched early on.
I feel like I would have showed you Animal House, but...
Maybe I couldn't, my memory's just terrible. But definitely, so we're planning it and we're coming to this burn at the back.
Yes.
And can you still remember the lines off by heart?
Yes, I do, in fact.
So let's do it. And so we're walking to the burn. What did you say?
I'll be honest with you, this is one of the movies, and it's... I know, I could even... I don't know how to explain it. I can tell you the whole line.
It's imprinted in your brain.
Yes, I can.
Just watch it right.
I know the tune. I even own the CD soundtrack to this movie. It's not a great movie. I know it's not.
Well, let's hear first of all. So let's see you do with the monologue.
What
about the car? Isn't there something about a car or something?
Yeah, no, it's a swamp.
Yeah,
right,
so let's hear the swamp monologue.
In the movie, there's a scene, right, where the two of them, John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, are walking through this swamp.
So this is us walking through a burn in Cumbernauld.
We were doing this. We were just young and we were just kidding. And my gran had this like back garden, and over it was a fence, so you had to climb into it, and it was like, it really was, wasn't it? It was like a burn, right?
It was like we were in the wilderness.
Yeah, and we just done it. It was just let's walk it and see where it takes us, and you can only get so far before it's overgrown, and but there's a line in it where like John Belushi's and Dan Aykroyd are looking for his car, Dan Aykroyd's car. It's went into the swamp. And John Belushi goes, I haven't been down here since the search party a couple of years ago. And John,
so let's actually just play it out how it went. So you said that. So you said, say it again.
He goes, I haven't been down here since the search party a couple of years ago.
What search party?
Some guy disappeared down here. Said it's lying on Palville. Said it was quicksand.
I was like, and then that's why I'm like looking at my feet. Like, am I safe here? And I was like, did it, Bob?
If you watch the film, which I think it's available on YouTube to watch. So if you come across this video, I have a soft spot for it because I remember where I was when I first seen it.
Yeah.
It was actually the first John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd. I didn't see Blues Brothers. This is my first movie.
And for me, this was so I went in with a lot of hype. I think this was the problem, that I was only like 11. And I went in with this hype that, it's going to be like Blues Brothers, it's going to be fast, it's going to be funny, it's going to have cool music.
Yes.
And it's not. So without further ado, I'm
going to give you the
VHS copy.
Yeah, I actually own this on CD.
Wow.
On DVD, I actually had to go and get an American release.
God, next you're going to have the paper script.
Actually, it's something a little bit. And I did try and track down the post at one point, but I never got it.
Yeah.
So here it is, guys.
Neighbours. And this is what tricked me, is his sunglasses. I'm like, this is going to be a Blues Brothers Part 2.
So I ordered this. I remember when I ordered this. We're still buying videos, and you had to order a video from HMV for them to then, they wouldn't sit this in the shop. They had to you had to order it. They took it from a warehouse somewhere, and I remember waiting like a week, I had to get this. And when it came, it's like, first came the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Now lock the doors, here come the neighbours. Now this is the film they did after Blues Brothers.
I would be interested to watch it again.
Right, do you know what it is?
See what a mature person thinks of it.
Yeah, it's, how can I say it?
Well, what was very famous about it was that obviously, what I remember about it is that John Belushi's a kind of rock and roll star. Right, he's always been, of the two of them, John Belushi's rock and roll and Dan Aykroyd's a kind of straight guy. And in that film, they reversed the roles. So, John Belushi played the straight guy, and Dan Aykroyd played the kind of rock and roll, weird alternative guy.
So what?
They kind of turned it on its head.
Yeah, what I like about it, right, and this is before I seen Animal House, before I seen Blues Brothers, before I seen 1941, any other film with John Belushi in it. Now, John Belushi, Saturday Night Live's he's a legend in Saturday Night Live. They're still talking to him about him this day.
Yeah.
And you're right. He's always been the rock and roll kind of guy, the cool looking one. But John Belushi wanted to play the straight man.
Yeah, show his acting.
And I actually think, if John Belushi had lived, we'd have seen he'd have been like a Bill Murray.
Yeah,
I think he'd have went into some.
You think so?
I think he
better roles.
I think he may even got one.
Yeah, if he got the right opportunities.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If he'd have.
You've seen that with people like Robin Williams and things like that. Yeah. Started off kind of comedic and rock and roll, and then went on to dramatic, serious roles that won them Oscars.
I think we could have seen it's like John Candy when you see Planes, Trains and Automobiles.
Yeah.
He looked like he was going that way, especially that scene in Planes, Trains and Automobiles where he gets all serious. I like me.
Yeah. Does it show
that
the drama?
That bit at the end always, you know what I mean? That kind of thing where he's at the train station.
And that's what I like about it. The one thing I saw recently, or not recently, but a wee while ago, was Dan Aykroyd talking, and I like this.
Hi guys, we're back after a commercial break. Sorry that.
What I was saying was about I'd seen an interview with Dan Aykroyd. And it's that whole I do hate when people do that. They kind of hold somebody on a pedestal, saying he was rock and roll, and he never gave up and all that. And so they were asking Dan Aykroyd that because famously John Belushi's gravestone says on it, "I might be gone, but rock and roll lives on." Yeah. So I'm thinking, so somebody asked Dan Aykroyd that, it says that in his gravestone. Do you think because he's gone young, it's rock and roll? And the story Dan Aykroyd said was, he said he went into one of these Blues Brothers themed restaurants. Yeah. And he went into it and he saw on the wall all the Blues Brothers stuff and all that sort of stuff and what it meant to all these people all around the world, etc. And he says he just looked at it and he just thought, where is he? Yeah. Where is John Belushi? John Belushi hasn't seen any of this. Yeah. He's never seen the impact that it had. And it kind of knocks that idea down about, well, it's cool to go. And it's like, well, that's it, isn't the idiot? Because he just took drugs and now, Dan Aykroyd's the one who's living in the flowers of his labour. Yeah. So I think he's seen the whole impact of it.
I know that I've seen interviews where Dan Aykroyd said once John had died, they thought my career was over because the two of them, and one of the reasons why we're doing this, talking about them as a video, why John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, is because their friendship is so, it was so short on movies or on screen even, but every time you watch Saturday Night Live or just any other movies, you can tell their friendship is so strong.
It's funny when you just get in films, these partnerships, they just last for all this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the reason that I well, I'll tell you a story. So I saw Neighbours about summer of 2000, right? And I remember who it was, like one of these ones. I don't remember every film I've seen the first time, but I remember I saw this the first time. It was in the living room, and my dad, my stepdad was watching Paramount Channel, and I came in and I was like, we didn't really have a strong relationship at that point. It's gotten better over the years, but then we didn't. And I just wanted to spend some time with him. And I said, what are you watching? And he goes, oh, I'm just starting a film. It's on Paramount. And I think he knew what it was because he'd said it looked like he had seen it before. Yeah. And at the very beginning, it opens up as the Columbia sign. And it's got the film's got a strange like theme, right? The music in that film's so weird. Yeah. Right? And I saw John Belushi, didn't know who he was, because that's the first name that comes up. Dan Aykroyd, I knew who that was. Yeah. And Kathy Moriarty. Oh, I knew who she was because she was the woman in Casper. Oh, right. Yeah. That's how I knew that name. Yeah. And it came up Neighbours, and I'm thinking, what is this? And all the Neighbours I knew then was like the TV show. Yeah, Australian. Yeah, right. A movie. So there's a weird connection to this, by the way, which I'll get to later. So the movie goes on, and I'm watching this. I quite like those films like where one guy is getting annoyed with the other guy. Yeah. You know, like anger management. Where one guy's pushing the other guy. Yeah. Neighbours is like that, or like Cable Guy. Where one guy's getting pushed over the edge because this other guy. Well, that straight guy and then something beside him. And that's what Neighbours is, right? Because it's such a basic story. There's no special effects. It's not, Avengers. Do you know what I mean? It's just simple. The movie was probably shot in the space of 3 weeks. That's how simple it is, right? Yeah, it's all set around just basically one house, isn't it? Yeah, well, 2 houses and a cul-de-sac. Yeah, yeah. And the film, literally, apart from one scene, doesn't leave. It's like the Burbs. It doesn't leave that street. Yeah. But there is one scene where it kind of does, right? It does leave that street. Goes to the garage that he phones to get his car fixed during the night. Oh, right, I can't. It's the only scene that leaves the street, but you don't see where it is. It could have been shot anywhere, right? So the film, you can tell it's low budget, right? And I think John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd done it because they came off of the Blues Brothers, and they thought they wanted to swap roles, or at least John Belushi did, to change their careers. And everybody else around them thought that was a bad idea. Yep. I remember the story behind it was John Belushi was getting a bit annoyed with the composer. Not the composer that actually finished the movie, but on the CD soundtrack, there's 2 composers. Oh, right. So the original composer got sacked, and John Belushi tried to fire him. And he also wanted to sack the director. Now, the director that did this movie, Neighbours, also directed, get this, Rocky. What the hell? Right? The Karate Kid movies. Yeah. Bill Conti. Oh, right. I think his name is. Wow, yeah. So he directed that, and was it Bill Conti or Bill Conti? I'm thinking is the composer. I think Bill Conti is a composer. Look, bear with me. I might be mixing this up here. No, John C. Was it Ad? Can barely make it out. I see the old VHS. Yeah. Oh God, that is black lighting against a brown carpet. You see that, right? That's too small. I'm so sorry. So. I should have done my research before. We'll put it in the notes. Yeah, so the director that did Rocky and the Karate Kid movies. Directed by John G. Avildsen. Yeah. My mistake. So he did Rocky and all that as well? He did Rocky. And he did the Karate Kid movies. Yeah. So, at this point, the Karate Kid movies hadn't been made, but Rocky had been made. So you think you're on to a winner. And, of course, I know the movie tanked at the box office. Now, on the DVD, the Blu Ray I have of Cable Guy, I don't really listen to a lot of commentaries, but out of curiosity, I saw Ben Stiller. You know Ben Stiller's directed Cable Guy? Oh, did he? Aye. Because he's in the Cable Guy, he's the on the news, he's the two twin brothers. So, Ben Stiller said the Cable Guy was such a flop for Sony Pictures, and it's never been such a biggest flop since Neighbours. So
There
like
you go.
that's where the
connection.
connection.
And they're both good films.
And yet
so.
both of the films have the same idea where it's one guy torturing another guy.
Maybe not enough people like it as much as we do.
I guess because it's such a simple story.
Yeah.
I think
you like the actors as well.
I like the actors. I like the theme around it. I like the weirdness around it. It's all set over one night.
Yeah.
The craziness, because it's one of those like Friday night movies.
Yeah,
it was Friday night. I seen it in because it actually takes place in Friday night.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it's just one of those late night. I'm watching a film up late.
Yeah.
An hour and a half done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I saw the Blues Brothers, and then I done my research. I saw Animal House and saw all these others.
So what was John Belushi's last movie?
Neighbours.
Was it?
Neighbours.
Jeez. So he was just starting off basically.
And his next film, I know Dan Aykroyd had wrote Ghostbusters with him in mind. So I think it was originally be just him and Dan Aykroyd as Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And then he was writing a line for him when he got the call that John Belushi had passed away.
Jeez, oh.
But I know John Belushi, you can watch that, it's on YouTube. Remember there used to be a show called The Last 24 Hours. But it's
tell you how somebody
it was
died,
a rock star
died.
right? They did a John Belushi one.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, this is a story and this. They always change every time you watch
another.
another.
It's one of these legendary myths.
Yeah, another documentary about him. The stories are always sort of changing, but always end the same. Now he died in the hotel. What do you call it? What's it called? The Chateau Mama. Is it called Chateau Mama?
All right, I don't know.
I've never been. Never. But he died in that hotel. It's a famous hotel in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And it was a speedball that killed him.
Oh, right.
Right, some woman. You know who was there that night? Robert De Niro was there that night with Robin Williams.
All right.
Dan Aykroyd wasn't there because he was away, like he was writing a script, and he did get the call to come down. And would you come? And Dan Aykroyd said, "Nah, I'm good here." I think Dan Aykroyd's always had a sensible head on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And I think
an old man head.
Yeah, I think he had his fun maybe in the Saturday Night Live years.
And now he was focusing down to progress his career.
I mean, you got to remember when John Belushi passed away, John Belushi was like 31 or something like that, 32 or something like that. And Dan Aykroyd was in his late 20s.
Oh, so
Dan Aykroyd was like only 27 or something.
And he was the more mature one.
Yeah, but I think when Dan Aykroyd was becoming into his 30s, that's when he was like, trying to, like, I better screw the nut, you know what I mean? So, anyway, when they got the call that John Belushi had passed away. But, yeah, it's a sad story, but...
it's a familiar story for that time.
Well, do you know what's actually amazing about John Belushi as a person?
Yeah.
He was born and lived before I was born.
Yeah.
Right? He only done, 5-6 years of television and Saturday Night Live? Something like that.
Yeah.
Only 7 movies.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still talking about them.
Yeah. True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've just had that Saturday Night Live film in the cinema.
Yeah, it's like James Dean, where like he was born, he lived, he died. James Dean only done 3 films.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to James Dean.
Yeah.
Do you look at James Dean's film? There's nothing else.
Yeah.
And you get people that have done plenty of movies.
Yeah.
Passed away, and we're not talking about them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And John Belushi's one of these rare. And you know the whole Chris Farley. Chris Farley was really like, oh, I want to be like John Belushi.
Yeah.
I want to die like John Belushi. And that's what happened to Chris Farley. He died the same age.
Yeah.
Basically with drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
it's a waste of a life.
You know John Belushi's brother? Jim Belushi?
Yeah.
Like he used to say, like Chris Farley used to come up to me and say, oh, tell me about John, and you're his brother, you've been so close, tell me.
Yeah. And, idolising him.
Yeah, and he was like, look, John...
I think that's what Dan Aykroyd was trying to kind of slap down.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, really, it's a waste, and you shouldn't really idolise it. You know?
And,
but then, as you say, the counter-argument to that, because I heard an interview recently with Neil Young, and he was talking about this because he famously had the music line that said it's better to burn out than to fade away.
Yeah.
And what he said was, they asked him to like explain it now because he's like in his 80s. And he said, well, no, he's like, you know, life is precious and you shouldn't lose life, and life is the most precious thing. He's like, but from an art perspective, it's like, it is better. because he says, you had John Belushi, just went 7 films and then boom, I'm
Yeah.
gone. You'll never see me grow old. I'll never make crappy. You never made Ghostbusters 6, and you go, what is he doing here? He just burnt out, and that was it.
Like Dan Aykroyd.
So for like the art, it's better, but for the man, it isn't. You want to see somebody. Life is precious and beautiful, and
but then
you want to live forever.
You wonder, would it have been different? Like, I often wonder, like, the films that would have carried on with John Belushi, right? You know, Spies Like Us. You seen Spies Like Us?
Yeah.
That would have had John Belushi.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase would not have been in that.
Oh, he would have had a run. He definitely would have had a good run.
He would have been in Spies Like Us.
But it would have been interesting, as you say, right? Would he have made... Because to be fair, Dan Aykroyd, I think, has ended up kind of making comedies or popping up now and again in comedies. So would he have ended up a bit like Dan Aykroyd, where he's kind of popping up places? Or, as you say, would he have been able to fully transition to be somebody like Bill Murray?
I think...
Who's made quality. I mean, Bill Murray has kind of consistently made quality, good films.
I think him and Dan Aykroyd would have done films for a good run.
Do you think so?
I think
they would have lasted longer?
I think they would have done it for... I don't know. I think they would have kept... And then once, as the years went on and they got into the 90s, I think the two of them would have kind of went their separate ways and done their own things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
John
Belushi would have tried to break away from it.
Yeah.
But they would still come back. I think they would still...
Blues Brothers 3, 4, 5.
Well, that's funny you say that, because...
I'm going to finish on Blues Brothers 2.
Well, here we go, right. So, before I finish up with John Belushi, because there's not much more I can really say, I have seen another bunch of films with John Belushi right now. I'll not go through Dan Aykroyd's filmography because it goes on. Right, we're talking about John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. Now, John Belushi didn't make that many films. Now, he's in a film called The Ruttles. You ever heard of The Ruttles?
Yeah.
Now, basically what it was kind of like a mockumentary kind of thing about the Beatles.
Oh,
But they were called The Ruttles.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was Eric Idle that did it.
Mm-hmm.
And John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd have a small cameo in it. Blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's like, it's all wee sketches in a film.
Uh-huh.
So they did that first. But John Belushi's first actual movie wasn't National Lampoon's Animal House, because National Lampoon's Animal House was written for John Belushi.
All right.
It was actually in this movie called Goin South, Jack Nicholson.
All right.
Ever seen this?
No.
So John Belushi as I would say it's a cameo, but he's in it a good bit.
Uh-huh.
Barely talks, barely says a few dialogues. He's got a few lines of words, but Jack Nicholson directed this movie.
So was that before Saturday Night Live or after?
No, I would say it was between. I would say it's after Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
So he got a cameo in this, then went straight to Animal House.
Uh-huh.
Right? And between the Blues Brothers and Neighbours, John Belushi also made this film. Now, Jim Belushi swears, his brother swears, that this is the closest to John Belushi will ever be in a film. Like, John Belushi's not brutal, you know. Speaking of Animal House, John Belushi's not. This is the only. Well, there was two figures. There was this figure made from Mezco figures of John Belushi, which I think was like the best representation of. Mm-hmm. You need to see Animal House. Yeah. When people picture Belushi, they picture this drunken, you know, or Jake Blues from the Blues Brothers, a rocker, you know.
Yeah.
And no, John Belushi wasn't like that. John Belushi was more like the character in this movie, and this movie's Continental Divide, which
I heard that.
It's quite good. I actually say, like, you actually see some of his acting chops in this. You know, this is like the closest thing to like John Candy's Planes, Trains and Automobiles either. Yeah. Because there's some there's comedic moments, but there's some like serious moments in it. So to go to that, to Neighbours, you know what I mean? That's how I kind of could see John Belushi's So anyway, well, that's where I stand with John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd.
That's been very informative.
Yeah, but they made me look up done some research and look up. That's why we went to the pictures to go see Saturday Night.
Yeah, Saturday Night. Yep.
And it showed you, like, that guy playing Dan Aykroyd was spot on.
Aye, he was.
There was no doubt. I mean, every time I saw him, I'm like, man, he looks so like Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
And Dan Aykroyd was young and skinny. You know what I mean? Yeah. He had that same mannerism, and John Belushi, obviously, the guy. They just got somebody to look similar and fat. Like John Belushi, make the eyebrow movements.
Yep.
So the Blues Brothers, what we'll do is we'll unbox this. This isn't the first time I've owned the Blues Brothers. I've owned the VHS I've owned the DVD. I've owned the special edition DVD. I've owned the Blu Ray. Sorry, I've owned the 4K. I've owned the special edition 4K.
Every form
like, I honestly, like, I need to stop, man. I've got a problem. I'm getting help, by the way, from the HMV specialists.
Yeah.
Now, I used to have a scissors in here, but I don't, so we're just going to have to go with it. But, so tell me, when you think of they two, what stands out to you?
Probably Blues Brothers right away. Just
Blues
it was
Brothers.
such a big thing in my house. So that like we told the story earlier in an earlier episode about you bringing it to my house and my dad watching it when I was upstairs.
I remember your dad.
You know, mum and dad went to see like kind of tribute act to Blues Brothers and all that. You know, he was just obsessed with Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
And to be fair, at that stage later on when I was about 15, 16, I got really into blues music.
Oh yeah.
And it probably was because of Blues Brothers. It's a brilliant introduction because although it's a comedy and it's jokey, like the music's quite serious and it's got good music.
Yeah.
And good musicians that do a lot of cameos.
And you know the whole story about John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi when they were doing Blues Brothers.
No,
when they were doing it on Saturday Night Live the first time.
All right, no.
So they first got meeting together. Dan Aykroyd, you can watch the video on YouTube. Dan Aykroyd talking about like the first time he saw John Belushi. The doors opened and he had this scarf and it was like storm. It was just a silhouette of like this funny little Albanian man coming in. You know what I mean? And you know they were talking about like putting an act together. Yeah. And they were talking about they got into the blues. And John Belushi was, well, I'm into rock and funk and heavy metal and and Dan Aykroyd was saying, well, what about all these like Joe Cocker and all these places? That's funky in a blues style. And he says we can make a band together and somebody went, so you can call yourself the Blues Brothers. It was it was simple, like over a quick conversation.
Wow.
And
cool. So Blues
Brothers was formed. Now I've not. Of course. But to be fair, get this, it's got the same disc as in the previous release, right? But my main concern was, did we get the extended edition? But it says it came with a bonus disc, so I'm not sure if I think the previous disc is the same 4K transfer, but we do get a special 4K.
Well, there you go.
Disc,
this is what you paid for.
Yeah, I paid for
special CD.
Yeah, I've paid for the full I've paid for the
extended version.
Great movie. What can I say? I'm such a fan of it now. I do have this, which I've never wanted to open this, but I think it's just a cool collector's piece. Yeah. There's been so many Blues Brothers. Figures and merchandise.
Even at Universal theme park, you've got the car.
Yeah. Now you've got the
show. They do a show.
And what else have I seen? Well, I've got the poster downstairs.
Yeah.
That's what I should have had here. I should have dug that out. I should have dug that out. Just try to do the show preparation, guys.
So hopefully people now switch to Neighbours and things like that and see lesser known films.
I would say with Neighbours in that. If you've never heard of John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, check out their filmography. Like I said, they've not done that many movies together. Some are better than others. Now, for somebody that's never seen a John Belushi film, right, and they were just like, I would say check out National Lampoon's Animal House and Blues Brothers.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
Good entry point.
I would say like that's it. And if you're very interested in checking out the other movies, go for it. Yeah. I've got such a soft spot because I like those people. And that's what and I've got such a fond. I was young when I seen them, and I've got such a connection. Now, I did see this one. I don't even know why. I put off for years. I was going to buy this. I'm not a fan of this movie whatsoever.
We're finishing on a downer.
Yes. And my friend, if he sees this video, well, I'll never hear the end of it. So hopefully he doesn't see it. So they did make a sequel. You seen this?
I don't think it's terrible. I mean, it's not great. It doesn't live up to the first one. I'll give you that. It definitely doesn't live up to the first one.
So, yeah, like, you're making a sequel without the other Blues Brother.
That's a bit stupid.
If you were going to make a sequel, do you know what my problem with this movie is?
I'm surprised Dan Aykroyd did it.
Well, my problem with this movie is not just the fact that you've got the kid in it, the whole kid carry on. My problem with it is the fact that they didn't. If you're going to do a sequel, why not get Jim Belushi and say he's actually their long lost brother?
Yeah.
Right, because it's the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Not the Blues Everybody.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, what is John Goodman's relationship to him in that film?
There is no relationship.
They're just friends.
No, it wasn't even a friendship. He meets them in a bar one night.
Yeah. And he just joins the band.
And just joins the band.
Aye, clever.
Mate, there's no cleverness. When was the last time you seen this?
A long time ago, to be fair.
I
Probably
dare you
a
to
good 10
get
years
it on
ago.
your stick and get a rewatch.
Yeah, yeah. Blues Brothers 2000.
Right? I wonder how far you'll get it when you switch it off. And don't even ask me why I've got this, why I bought it, why am I doing an unboxing on this show.
It's a nice scene though, when I like the scene when they tell Dan Aykroyd his brother's died.
That's the best part.
It's a wee tribute where he says like my brother's dead.
Because that's something. You feel like John Belushi's getting a mention.
Yeah, true.
No, I know. It's it's not a great movie. This is not a good. I don't even know why I'm unboxing this. I don't even. I for a long time, mate, I walked about this earth saying to myself, this didn't exist.
Yeah, try to forget it. Give yourself amnesia.
There was only one Blues Brothers movie, and there only shall be one Blues Brothers movie.
To be fair, nobody really talks about this one, to be fair. Like, people just say the Blues Brothers, nobody ever says the Blues Brothers 2000.
Well, do you know, Dan Aykroyd, in an interview, you can see it on YouTube, I kid you not, this movie must have just came out.
Yeah.
Right? And Dan Aykroyd's sitting in it looks like one of those, those like, Saturday morning shows or something like that. You know, talking to kids, right?
Yeah.
And he says, one day, somebody will have on their video shelf, this is how far in the future he thought, the Blues Brothers, and right next to it, the Blues Brothers 2000.
There you go, you got it.
I know.
You proved them right.
So, I can make him happy, yeah.
There you go. Dan Aykroyd, if he watches the show. I'm sure he does. I'm sure Dan Aykroyd watches us between these videos of aliens.
And drinking his vodka.
Yeah, drinking his skull vodka.
Have you seen that? Have you ever seen his vodka?
Yeah, it's like is it the one that's in a skull?
I bought it.
Yeah.
I bought it off Amazon. I'll never forget, like, I was 2016 I bought it.
Yeah.
It was 50 quid.
Bloody
I kid you not though, like, I did drink it.
You still got the bottle?
Still got the bottle.
That's quite good. It's worth it then. It was worth the investment.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a vodka guy, right? But this stuff was strong.
Was it?
And I'm not kidding you. Like, the reason that...
Did they make you see aliens?
You know how vodka's got kind of sweet taste to it?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of... And the more you drink, it's kind of like a... You have to have like a strong throat for it. Like, This had none of that. It was pure clear and crisp. Because he was talking about like he drained it and he got rid of the additives and all that.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
But I think he's been drinking loads of this stuff because you can't seem to write a good script anymore and make a good film, and
he's not hungry anymore. That's the problem. He's not young and hungry and wanting to make a living out of it.
But there's a film. We're talking about Dan Aykroyd. I can't find it anymore. I can't buy the video of it. I used to have the VHS. I got rid of it. It's actually not a bad film. I'd like to see it again. You ever seen a film called? He done a film called Getting Away with Murder.
No.
Right.
No.
He did this film with Jack Lemmon. Jack Lemmon and Getting Away with Murder, and I'll never forget. We were talking about neighbours, right? And it was I'd seen it in a video shop. I used to go do so much research in this, and you got to remember, it was like 2000, 2001. We're not so far where we are now, where there's so many movies made. You're talking about, you're looking at movies in the 90s, 80s, 70s. 70s was only like 30 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't that long.
No.
So, this was like, I want to say it was like made in 94, 95.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Dan Aykroyd's in another movie about where he's like, basically about neighbours. And he actually tries to kill his neighbour.
Oh, there.
That's all I'll leave you with, because
But
you know what's funny? Not another Oscar-winning movie performance by Dan Aykroyd, but it was it was not bad.
It was enjoyable.
Yeah, one of those late night movies you should check out. So, yeah, final thoughts before we wrap up this show of John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, and all the ones that you've wanted to see.
Need to watch Neighbours again. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Rewatch is overdue.
Yeah, I want to show you a few. I want to show you. Yeah, I do want to show you that.
Yeah.
I want to, but we should do like national. You need to come one night. Like it's just like you've got time.
Yeah, and we'll watch all the National Lampoons back to back.
National Lampoons, Animal House, and the Blues Brothers back to back.
Yeah.
Now, have you seen the extended version of the Blues Brothers?
No.
Okay, when I say extended, you're probably talking about 10 minutes extra scenes put back into the film.
Yeah.
Basically, all it is like, yeah, it's basically 10. I would say, if you were to put it all together, 10 minutes of the movie, put shoved back into the film.
Yeah.
But it's scattered out.
All right.
Some songs go a wee bit longer.
Yeah.
And you can tell, that you used to be able to tell what scenes were put back in because the quality would change a bit.
All right.
The quality.
Yeah, it had been remastered.
It was remastered, but you could just tell like the dip for a couple of seconds would change.
Yeah,
and then it would go back. And yet when you watched the original cut or the theatrical cut, you would see where it had been cut. You would go, okay, I know where that's.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't watch the other version. I have to watch the extended version.
Yeah.
So yeah, final thoughts, guys. John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, love them. Yeah, it's got some part of my childhood that's kept me going.
Yeah.
And of course, that's what got us.
Both into films, really.
Brought us. Yeah. I remember like trying to make you watch that, and you were just like, "What is this?" You wanted Blues Brothers too.
Yeah, Blues Brothers 2000 before there was a Blues Brothers 2000.
So I seen Neighbours first, and then saw Blues Brothers. So you could always like, you know, people like try and make a wee story.
Yeah,
on the movies, you know. If it was flipped if you flipped it the other way around, right? You remember the ending of Neighbours?
Where
they kind of just run off together.
Yeah.
Everyone's all off to the sunset. You know?
Yeah, resolved.
John Belushi just leaves his wife and all that kind of thing, right? You could say that the two went away, John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, and Kathy Morority's character, I don't know, went and done her own thing, and the two of them formed the Blues Brothers.
Yeah. True.
You know what I mean?
That universe.
You could have said that, you know.
Yeah.
You could say John Belushi went to college in Animal House.
Yeah.
Came out of college and went to be he's like a newspaper reporter guy. Yeah. That was his job. That he was
writing about blues bands.
Yeah.
And then
that was his job.
Became a blues band.
When he went back home to his wife and where he lived in Neighbours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes you try and make a wee. I used to play games where you used to try and make plot points.
I think that happens a lot now in films, to be fair.
When they make the kind of storyline out of characters.
Yeah, intertwines with each other. They become a universe.
What was it? The one I heard about was Keith Sutherland one. Did you hear about that? No. So Keith Sutherland, I can't remember all right, but Keith Sutherland was. Oh, he was the guy. You remember him? Stand By Me.
Yep, he's the bully.
Somebody tied up that he was the bully in Stand By Me. That met Max, who in Lost Boys, remember the right? Changed him into a vampire. Yeah. Managed to get with that or something, and then ended up in I think Flatliners or something. I can't remember. Something like
it goes all
the character spins so
yeah.
different, became this and became that. You know, like. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching this Movies Off the Shelf episode. Quite a long one, but I just thought it was. I thought it'd be a very interesting topic to talk about. That's who my favourite people were: John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, and I don't know. Maybe one day we can talk about one of these actors that you. Yeah. Adam Sandler, I think, is probably yours.
Yeah. To be fair, I do love early Adam Sandler.
And if you can think of anything that.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, let us know in the comments below. Do you like John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd? Have you seen our films? What John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd film is your favourite? Or what John Belushi film or Dan Aykroyd film? It doesn't have to be in there together. Just that I think the two of them their friendship was so close, and that's why you've got the House of Blues. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Okay, sense.
So yeah, guys, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. We do more episodes, and the more chances we'll get, we'll do more episodes. Until next time, guys. Take care. Bye bye.
Goodbye.